What is up, Crop Dusters? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for it. This time it's going to be in college football for Saturday, August 28th. Game's going to be played between the Fresno State Bulldogs and the Connecticut Huskies. Current betting spread is Fresno minus 27.5. Total 62.5. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room for a second, and that is the blemish that is on my face. I don't know if you can see here. It's kind of hard for me to know my lefts from my rights, but right over here, see this guy? Yeah, I mean, life comes at you fast, folks. Some doctors would refer to this as a pimple. I haven't had a pimple on my face since like Nam, but I'm really not sure where this came from. I also have one on my left ass cheek, correlated, maybe. I probably got it because I don't wash my hands after I use the bathroom, but I mean, look, to each his own. You shouldn't be judging me. I don't judge you. I know what you're also thinking, right? I'm probably like on the sauce. A little syringe action, speed up muscle growth. Side effect, of course, is acne. However, my balls are already bouncing off my knees. So if you think I'm trying to lower those bad boys, nah, I'm good. Also, I already bounced 475 off my chest. So, I mean, who needs PEDs? Look, I'm joking. You know, you steroid freaks. Relax. I'm bouncing 450 off my chest, not 475. Take a chill pill. But yeah, as I said, life comes at you fast, folks. Anyways, it was nice to get the solo vids back on track in Major League Baseball. Tuesday win, first 5 under, 4.5 Pirates Diamondbacks. Improves those vids to 27 and 15 plus 10.82 U. This is all good and all, times 2. But it's time to slide over to college football. There's only a few games to start this opening weekend, but I do have a play I like here. The typical live show on Saturday talking baseball. Since the sample's short this week, I know I talked about potentially going live to talk all college football, but there's only 4 games. I mean, I guess I could sprinkle about it during baseball, but I think the baseball show on Saturday will end up being more fruitful. I know a lot of people probably are excited for college football. I certainly am. So personal advice I have, though, for those diving into the college football waters early on, take it easy. College football is going to be a long season. Let's not blow things out of the water the first week, practically off of all subjective takes, right? I mean, like betting on a team's first game of the season in college sports is really as high variance as it gets in college sports. I might even argue that variance or heavy variance carries into the first few weeks, right? As teams kind of figure out who they truly are, or their identities, if you will. You'll see me start out with betting half-unit plays, and then I'll shift over to 1U by weeks 3 and 4, pending my confidence levels. I know, gigantic balls, right? Half-unit plays. Now, look, if you have, a good handle on a few teams preseason and in camp, etc., maybe you do have a bigger edge early on, but look, steam moves for these early, and this said information is again, as I mentioned, completely subjective, and it's all he said, she said, right? I mean, and I'm not talking about just reading a Phil Steele magazine. I'm talking just whether you have insider information on camps and such. Sure, you can hold that as relevant, but again, a lot of that stuff, whatever it is you're seeing or hearing, unless you're on the inside, it likely steam moves already happened prior. Whatever you do, speaking of chasing steam. Whatever you do not chase steam on game day college football, whether it happens this week, the next week, it doesn't matter. That is a recipe for a disaster on your bankroll. College football has some of the most wild line movements on Saturday mornings. Some justified, most not. If we're speaking about betting blindly in a sense, you're far better off fading steam on Saturday mornings at better numbers than chasing steam at bad ones. Nonetheless, I'm excited for another fun season in this sport, but I'm not naive to the early volatility on it. Again, early on. Take it slow. Let your sample build. Not to say, minor edges can't be had. And I feel I do have one here. So, look, without further ado, let's dive on in. Fresno State, UConn. The Mountain West versus the Independents. Kind of sounds like an old Western, right? Well, anyway, the Fresno State Bulldogs come into this season with high hopes to win the Mountain West. They're bringing back a ton of offensive talent, led by running back Ronnie Rivers, quarterback Jake Haener, for the cool kids to pronounce. Both seniors. UConn brings back plenty of offensive starters as well. But remember, his team took off the year 2020. Zergiotis at QB, Mensa at running back, to name a few guys that are coming back. I believe both are seniors, at least Mensa is. Zergiotis might be a junior, either way. But how much rust is going to be on this team, right? Especially this defense. Also, a bit of a QB battle between Zergiotis and Krajewski at the QB position. Defensively speaking, it's quite a large task for UConn here to slow this efficient and fast-paced offense for Fresno State, though. My favorite look here is actually first half over 33.5. Got this minus 115 at BetMGM in New Jersey. Let's talk it through a little more. So first of all, in relation to the starters, you should always be looking at game notes published by each school prior to their games. And no, I'm not talking like notes you've taken on games. I'm talking like these colleges always produce, or most colleges produce, a game notes section from their websites. While these game notes at times could lead you down like a red herring in handicapping or even like DFS, this is really the best way to try to get yourself into a coach's head relating to like depth chart. Okay, many teams update these weekly with valuable information, again, relative to the depth charts, and it's all inside these game notes. These can be reached via, again, the college football pages from their respective schools. This is just some extra food for thought for your handicapping. So last season, Fresno State ranked 5th in plays per game, 81.3. This was by far their highest play count in years. They, of course, promoted previous OC Kalen DeBoer to head coach prior to last season. Their offense became ablaze under him, and it paid dividends from it. Now, in a shortened season, Fresno State's offense was certainly not their problem. Again, led by Hayner, the offense was potent and fast and quite potent. 14th best in D1 in first half scoring last season, 21.5 points per game, points per half anyway. This team starts fast, and it's hard to assume that's not going to happen here against an inexperienced secondary from UConn, who more or less just took a full year off. Defense, though, was an issue for Fresno State last season. UConn will likely not challenge this Fresno defense all that much, but with this spread, they won't really have to if you do end up wanting to back the Huskies. UConn could be generalized as a slow team in terms of pace from their 2019 numbers, or at least slightly below the middle of the pack. But I actually think they were playing at above pace, believe it or not. I thought that they played a lot of slow teams. Remember, in terms of trying to really gauge or create a good gauge or gauge for pace, it's more or less, what type of opponents are you playing? I mean, ultimately, over the course of the season, it should median out. But you look at their schedule 2019, they played a lot of slow teams. When they played teams that were moving the ball quick, they had no problem moving quick with them. When they had the ball on offense, we're speaking. UConn averaged about 77 plays per game when they played Central Florida, Houston, and UMass, 3 teams in that season that did move the ball fast. So those 3 teams play much like Fresno's tempo, or Fresno's expected tempo here. And again, UConn shouldn't have issues trying to not so much match them in pace, but not really slow them down, at least when UConn has the ball anyway. I expect UConn to play marginally fast, take some early shots. They really have nothing to lose here, right? They haven't played a game in 2 seasons. They're a big underdog. They're on the road. Where I do worry is if Fresno State gets a big lead and takes the air out of the ball in the second half. Now, that's not in their MO. But again, it's the first game of the season. I feel much better about first half points in this game versus second half points. Overall, I look at this from a few different angles. I get one team at Fresno whose offense plays at a blaze. They won't stop themselves from scoring in the first half. They play a defense that hasn't played game speed in 2 years. Based on 2019 numbers, UConn should not be trying to slow this game down by any means. If anything, they'll also be happy to go up tempo when they have the ball on offense. More plays should obviously, or could obviously, lead to more scoring. This cap for me is majority speaking is on tempo. If pace is where I expect it to be on both sides, this first half total should be 35.5-ish. So I'll take the light number under the 5 touchdowns at 33.5, actually to go over first half. I know I made that confusing. I didn't have to, saying under, but either way. If we can get UConn to land in the box, maybe squeeze a field goal, I'll feel really good about this bet going over. Now, again, Fresno's defense is not this team's strong suit by any means. UConn may end up being tough to watch in this spot, but with who's returning, they could move the ball against a susceptible defense in their first game. An early Pacific time start for Fresno. So yes, half unit for me over first half Fresno State UConn 33.5. Got that -115 in BetMGM in New Jersey. I know, right? Big spender, half unit. Suck my nuts. Want to thank you, speaking of that, for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope someone takes a shit inside your mailbox. As always, drop comments below with your thoughts on the play. Also, let me know who you're betting for the college slate, right? This video's out early or early enough, right? So you have time. Let me know who you're betting for the college slate. I know there's only a few games, 5 or 6 of them, but look, let me know. The comment section's warm water. Dive on in. Also, I always get back to you. Nobody likes a silent stalker. We'll have content lined up on the channel all weekend. Major League Baseball, UFC, NASCAR, maybe even some tennis. I'll be back Saturday live running down the MLB slate with maybe some sprinkles of college football. And then I'll be back with Joey and Holden doing baseball again on Sunday. Until then, folks, be sure to gamble responsibly. And thanks again for watching.